Now, great news this week for Donegal in that the FBD Young Farmer of the Year is actually from the county, from Letterkenny, or just outside, or at least that's where his farm is, Ballyarb, just down the road, and he's a sheep farmer. This is the first time, I think, that the Young Farmer of the Year is from Donegal, and he was also named Category Award winner. This is for land mobility. So I'm delighted to say that the winner now, Dwayne Shiels, has joined us in the studio. Dwayne, congratulations to you first of all.
Thank you very much, Sean. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. And land mobility, what is that for? Explain that to me.
So I suppose that's making the use of whatever land's available to you, making the best use of it, getting the most production out of it, and the most productivity, making use of that land, maybe not owned land that you're renting or leasing, and taking the most out of that there.
Okay, maximising it.
Maximising that there and getting the most out of it, yeah.
Right. You're a sheep farmer, and is it one or two farms that you have?
2 leased farms and then our own farm. Yeah.
Okay. So you have your hands full then with the sheep.
Aye, busy.
And you have your hands full doubly as well, because you're a lecturer in agricultural sciences at ATU.
Aye, down at ATU since last September, so going into our second year now down there, teaching the honours degree, the ag science degree down there.
How's that?
Good, very enjoyable.
Which do you enjoy most, the teaching or the sheep farming?
The farming, I think. It's kind of nice to mix of both of them and get out of the farm clothes, go into the teaching for a while, and then.
Well, I suppose it's great being a teacher in that you've hands-on knowledge of a lot of the stuff that you're chatting about and stuff that you're teaching.
Aye, it's nice that you can give examples, not when you're teaching things. Nice to be able to work back and give examples of how things are done or how you've done something, maybe learn from them examples, and if you have an example for them, it's maybe easier for them to understand how it works and how it should be then.
Yeah. And now your profile will increase with this win, so they'll definitely know for sure, what you do and understand that you're chatting from experience. There's quite a process to go through to even get to the final here.
Aye, so first thing, maybe I got an email first to say you've been nominated for, you've been entered to it, and then there's 50 then interviewed. First 50 then is interviewed. That's an online interview, and then they select 15 semi-finalists from that. The 15 semi-finalists then went to Portlaoise for round interviews. So we had round interviews 2 weeks ago in Portlaoise, 40 minutes, 45 minutes, and then they select 6 from that. Right. And then we all went to Sligo to the Radisson Blue on Tuesday there, and the final 6 was interviewed there then, and for the winner then.
You were picked out as a winner on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of questions, like they dig deep. They do
definitely do. They didn't leave too many stones unturned. There's a bit of pressure on. The last interview there was an hour and 10 or 15 minutes, like going through everything, your productivity, your accounts, what you're doing, what steps you're using to be innovative in the farm, what you're doing to help the environment, farm safety, want to see your output, where it's come from. So
you're expected to have all the answers, all the facts, all the figures.
I know you
obviously did.
Seemed to do, yeah. No, it went very well, so it did, yeah.
Yeah, good.
It was unexpected.
And the Land Mobility Award, that's separate?
That's separate, yeah. So that's one sector. There's 6 sectors first, and that came from the sector. So the 6 sectors came from the semi-finalist, the 15 the semi-finalist. That interview was to get the 6 sectors. Like last year, the 6 finalists, there's 5 of them dairy farmers. So the sector winners come from the semi-final, and then the highest 6 marked out of the semi-final goes into the final then.
Okay.
So the last 4 winners have come from dairy farmers, so it's a bit of a change.
So a bit of a surprise there's a sheep farmer.
But unexpected, yeah.
And did they tell you what they were impressed with, or he just announced as a winner?
Just announced as a winner, I suppose. Talking to the judges after, or the interview panel after, they kind of thought maybe going ahead of what things. So like we're putting in multi-species there now for 5 years, and multi-species sward. So using alternative forage to fix nitrogen into the soil, that you're not putting on as much fertilizer. It's kind of big things in the fertilizer boom there last year, but
did I see in the news this week that there's grants?
There's grants. So there's grants last year for it. There's big grants. This is our 5th year doing now. We're back on a rotation background. Some of the ground's done for a second time. So I've seen about it in New Zealand when I was out there in 2018. Okay. And
what sort of things? What does that involve exactly?
So same as reseeding a field with grass. You're just putting in chicory, plantain, and clover along with it. And the plantain, the chicory, then they're maybe taking nutrients from further down the soil, taking that up, breaking soil pans and that, taking them nutrients that if there comes a dry spell or if ground dries out early in the year, they're taking the nutrients up from deeper down the soil.
Okay.
And they also have health benefits then, so you get away with, there's natural tannins in them, so you're getting away with less wormers. There's a big problem with antibiotic resistance in the country or in the world, and you're getting away with less wormers. They have natural tannins in them that kill or prevent the animal being infected with worms or reduce the amount of worms they're infected with. So you're getting to use less wormers, less antibiotics, and
so it means that you have to you can get away with less wormers in the sheep, less fertilizer.
Less fertilizer, so
on the land as well.
The clover you're putting in is fixing the nitrogen out of that atmosphere and making it available to the grass plant. So by introducing that clover, then you're getting away with less fertilizer too. Yeah, and you implant it close to rivers there, like one of the farms, a river runs through it, and you implant it right to the bank of the river. You're not allowed to spread fertilizer to the river, so you're making the most of every inch of the field that way. Yeah.
And if I was a farmer and I'm listening now, I would think, that's a lot of bother. It's just so much handier just to spray fertilizer. Is it?
Well, I suppose we had a farm walk. Chagas organised a farm walk out last year on Uncle's farm out here, and we looked at it as multi-species, looked and reseeding. We looked at different ways of incorporating, so ploughing or min-till or what we're going to incorporate. Big tends that there seems a lot of people interested. The price of fertiliser at the minute, it's well back this year, but still expensive. You can get away with less it. So it's not suited to every system, but for systems that it is suited to, it works very well. Yeah, there's big savings to be made.
What's the biggest challenges in sheep farming at the minute?
I suppose the weather this year we've got so far.
That's all farming, not just sheep farming.
That's all farming now, and prices they were fairly strong all year. They've slackened a bit this last few weeks, but hopefully a bit of rise again. They seem to be starting to steady up and maybe go up again. But there's always, I suppose, them challenges. Input cost, feed didn't come back the way it should have come back this year. Should have been back a lot more. It hasn't come back enough, and them usual challenges, I suppose.
Speaking of challenges, I mean, how do you overcome the time challenge if you're doing lecturing and farming?
Good help there. I have a younger brother who's very keen at Jared, and then mum and dad, sure, they're running errands, whatever errands have to run.
Everybody's roped in.
They're all roped in. There's no
lambing season.
Lambing season, everyone's there, and we're looking if we could look at students there too for lambing season, so they come out and help out with lambing as well.
There's a lot that's changed in farming in recent years in particular, and there's now a real move towards protecting the environment, biodiversity, and farmers have become more aware.
Aye, and they have to be. I suppose that's where we're going to be going in the future. There's an eye on us, and everyone's watching out to see that, and maybe no harm either. It's getting us to adapt to that, and a lot of younger farmers coming on through there maybe more open to adapting to that as well. So.
Yeah, and they're sort of when they're starting out on the path, that's sort of the way it is, and they don't change. Those are the practices when they're.
I suppose farming in general has kind of become more and more technical, and there's a lot more if you go in there, like the Green Cert here in Chagas and Letterkenny, or the degree down in the ATU there, like is oversubscribed again this year. We're taking in 70 first year students, and there's maybe 100 entered for applied for it. Like, so there's a want or a desire for that new knowledge in there, and that's kind of what they've been showing in them, whether it be the Green Cert or an honours degree or whatever it may be, where they're going. A lot more of them are going for their education now for agriculture, and that's what they're showing. I think it's kind of been
to learn before they
take over and then take them practices that they're learning, taking them home then and adapting them at home.
Yeah. And so, what would you say to anybody that's thinking about taking up sheep farming? I mean, you're experienced enough now to be able to speak with authority. So, what would you say to them?
Jeez, I don't know. Wouldn't be winning off the bat. I know you'd need to be fond of them before you'd get into a lot of work in them. But you
need to have a passion for farming.
Need a passion for farming and maybe a passion for sheep there. But anyone that there's a return on them, definitely, if the thing's done right, there's a return on them. Yeah.
Well, listen, congratulations again, FBD Young Farmer of the Year, and seeing as a lot of the previous winners have been dairy farmers, must come as like a double shock.
Wasn't expecting it at all. And I was kind of happy to get into the last six. I was very happy with that coming to the first entry, and then to get the overall, it wasn't expected. I thought I'd be going down the dairy route again. They've a lot more information available to them. They're recording milk yield, and they have a lot of information, EBI, all the breedings available to them. I suppose they're maybe that step ahead, and the rest is trying to catch up with them, but it's nice to see that being recognised that it's not just there, that the rest of the industry or the rest of the sectors have been recognised as well.
Absolutely. Okay, Dwayne, congratulations
Thanks
again.
very much, John.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
the chat.
Cheers.